In the ordinary language sense of the word fact, evolution is a fact.
That was our good atheist friend Richard Dawkins suggesting that evolution is fact. Is evolution really fact, or is it a theory in crisis? Fluffy Tuffy and Uncle Frank provide their unique views on the viability of this theory. Glee. It's Bible bears, not Bible cats, buddy. Fluffy Tuffy and Uncle Frank provide their unique views on the viability of this theory that many scientists like Dick Dawkins insist is fact. Cole. Cole, no. No, stop. Oh my gosh. Cole.
Good kitty cat.
Oh, Coley's sitting over there now. Get ready for another edition of... Hold on. This is Bible Bears, and a Bible Bear should be doing the intro. Yes, but I do all the editing, the production, and this is my camera. That? Your camera is trash. No respectable YouTuber uses one of those. Whoever called you guys respectable? Good point. Carry on. Get ready for another edition of Bible Bears!
Hey guys, it's me, Fluffy Pants. Before we rough up evolution, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the little bell next to it. It literally takes 3 seconds. Got it? Great. Now on with the show. Now we know from many of you that believing in evolution is probably more attractive than believing that God created all the animals in one day and they ran off merrily frolicking with one another. You have been fed this theory through your textbooks and museum ape-to-man displays for decades. Many scientists and news professionals are overtly hostile to anyone who challenges evolution.
Have I claimed to be objective?
Jeez, chill out, Dan Abrams.
Got a 45 and a shovel. I doubt anybody would miss you.
Remember this guy, Bill Nye? He said creationism, the belief that God created all things, is an embarrassment and a shame, a religious superstition that does real harm to children.
Oh, as if.
Yes, telling children that they are divine creations and not descended from chimps is so degrading. We're going to provide you today with 5 challenges to evolution. First up, Tuffy!
Alright, before we begin, we should first clarify the type of evolution we are challenging. Microevolution is a change within a species, like a bird's beak changing shape, or a dog's fur growing thicker. This is real. This is observable. Macroevolution, the type we are challenging, is when one species changes into another, like an ape to a man, or a bear into a whale. This type of evolution requires millions of years to accomplish. Which brings us to problem number 1. Darwinian evolution is not observable. How can a theory be fact if we can't even observe it? One of the most obvious problems with Darwin's origin of species is that it cannot actually explain origin. It might explain survival, but not arrival. Where did we come from? One theory is the primordial soup. You see, many esteemed brilliant scientists believe that perhaps lightning may have struck a mud puddle somewhere, causing proteins and amino acids and a bunch of other stuff to come together. And voila! Billions of years later, here we are. Astrobiologist Chandra Wickramasinghe, I can't really pronounce her name, remarked that the emergence of life from a primordial soup on Earth is merely an article of faith that scientists are finding difficult to shed. It's like believing a Boeing 747 resulted from a tornado going through a junkyard. Even atheist Michael Denton said that a single cell is too complex to have been thrown together by some kind of freakish, vastly improbable event. I know. Let's ask Darwinist Michael Ruse where he thinks life came from.
It might have started off on the backs of crystals. Out of the backs of crystals is at least one hypothesis.
Don't let the beard fool you. He's a child.
Crystals. Good one, Michael. Oh, that guy slays me. Another objection to evolution is irreducible complexity. If it could be demonstrated that any complex organ existed which could not have possibly been formed by numerous successive slight modifications, my theory would absolutely break down. A good example of irreducible complexity is the mousetrap. There are only 5 parts, but if one of these parts was not present, the trap would cease to function. Many of our organs are designed as such. They could not operate through numerous slight modifications. They have to be fully formed, all at once, in order to work. Michael Behe, professor of biochemistry, suggests there is currently no experimental evidence to show that natural selection can get around irreducible complexity. According to Darwinian evolution, natural selection and random mutation are responsible for turning microbes on the back of crystals into bears, butterflies, and bald eagles. Natural selection cannot change one species into an entirely different species. And mutations not only don't turn us into superpowered mutants, but they result in dead ends. Mutations remove genetic code. They don't add to it, and this is a big problem. For an animal with arms to turn into an animal with wings, for example, new code is needed to create new body plans. But from where does that code originate? Considering that a tiny single-celled amoeba has enough genetic code to fill 1,000 encyclopedias, the new code required to build a complex body part, such as a wing, would be considerably larger. Bill Gates said, DNA is like a computer program, but far, far more advanced than any software ever created. From where then were these animals downloading their updates? I mean, I'd like to have a pair of wings. The 5th issue with Darwinian evolution is the Cambrian explosion. Imagine a football field. Now, for the first 80 yards, which represents hundreds of millions of years, virtually no animals exist. Then, boom! Suddenly, within 1 yard, hundreds of complex animals appear within the fossil record, out of nowhere. There are, however, no transitional fossils leading up to this event, and these should be present in an evolutionary environment. Tell me something, Tuffy. Would you buy a computer if Fluffy Pants built it? Of course not. He's an idiot.
I heard that, you Satan! Ah!
Imagine if Tuffy's mind was created by a random, unguided process. Would you trust anything he said or did then? I barely trust anything he says or does now. Precisely. So if his mind were randomly created, we couldn't really trust anything he said, or I said, or you said for that matter. Furthermore, those scientists whose minds were randomly created can't really trust the theory of evolution because it was created by a random, unguided process. How ironic, Frank. The theory suggests we were all created by a random, unguided process. But we can't trust a theory created by a random, unguided process. The snake eats itself. Thomas Nagel, a philosopher and atheist, points out this error in his book, Mind and Cosmos, why the materialist, neo-Darwinian conception of nature is almost certainly false.
So why do so many scientists continue to believe in evolution?
Good question, Fluffy Pants. Part of the problem is that most scientists who disagree with Darwinian evolution could lose their careers if they spoke out against it. We recommend you watch Ben Stein's documentary, Expelled, No Intelligence Allowed. As late as June, Yale computer scientist professor David Geltner renounced his belief in Darwinism, but he cautions, you take your life in your hands to challenge it intellectually. They will destroy you if you challenge it. You see, Fluffy Pants, for many atheists, Darwinian evolution is a religion, and to speak out against it is like attacking their faith. Don't take it from us. Let's see what Harvard evolutionary biologist Richard Lewontin has to say. Well, there you have it. They want nothing to do with God. Fortunately, many established PhDs have signed a dissent confirming their skepticism that random mutation and natural selection can account for the complexity of life. That's all the time we have today, guys. If you're ticked off at us for not believing in evolution, Leave your comment below. But also, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's so easy, even a randomly mutated human could do it. Oh, and if you like this video, check out our video on how we know there is a creator. Until next time, we love you!